All right, good morning, everyone. It is my honor and privilege as the Chief Faculty Marshal to proclaim the opening of the 2013 Butler University Commencement exercises. And I would like to ask all of us to thank Professor Richard Alden Clark and the Butler Symphony Orchestra for providing our lovely prelude and processional music. At this time, I am pleased to introduce Craig Fenneman, Chairman of the Butler University Board of Trustees.
Thank you, Dr. Brabant. It's a pleasure to welcome you to the Butler University Commencement. I extend special congratulations to each of the members of the class of 2013 for reaching this important milestone in your lives. Soon you will join the illustrious ranks of approximately 44,000 Butler alumni who live in every state in our union and more than 80 countries throughout the world. Their careers and achievements attest to the quality of their Butler experience. I now call on the members of the Butler Chorale, directed by Dr. Eric Stark, and the Butler Symphony Orchestra, conducted by Professor Richard Alden Clark, to lead us in singing the national anthem. Please stand and remain standing for the national anthem. At the conclusion of the national anthem, Ms. Katie Shear, Vice President, Senior Class,
Please be seated. Family, friends, faculty, staff, and the 814 graduates here today, welcome to Butler University Commencement 2014. Howard Thurman once said, "Don't ask what the world needs. Ask what makes you come alive and go do it, because what the world needs is more people who've come alive." Students, throughout the ceremony, I ask you to reflect on the people and experiences throughout your Butler years that made you come alive. Think about the family that encouraged you to attend Butler and has supported you throughout your life. Consider the professors whose lectures and assignments have opened your eyes to new ideas and inspired you to never stop learning. Pay reverence to any faith or spirituality that may have guided you through your college years as you have grown and developed. Think about the friends who stood by you during all the troubles and the triumphs. Remember the guest speakers, the cultural events, and the political debates that pushed you to consider issues in a different light. Look back on the service projects, the countless club meetings, and the endless practices, and consider what passions you found in those experiences that you are going to take with you as you continue on your life journey. Reflect on what has made you come alive, and now it is time to go do it. As we move on to jobs, internships, grad schools, and gap years, Butler University class of 2013, go out into the world and be alive.
Thank you, Katie. Now it's my pleasure to present Mr. Michael Couch, president of the senior class, who will offer his thoughts on commencement.
Thank you, Mr. Finneman. Welcome, Dr. Mischel, Mr. Green, Dr. Pangan, distinguished Butler faculty and staff, Mike Keller, past president of the Student Government Association, Brad Vogelsmeyer, and Laurel Shawa, this year's top male and female student on campus, and all of the friends and family of today's graduates. Today is a glorious day, and I am glad we are all able to be here together to celebrate. Well, everybody, we made it. Take a huge sigh of relief and enjoy the moment. We all worked hard to get to this day, and it's finally here. Though bittersweet, this day is an important day to look back on the last 4, 5, and even 6 years, God bless the pharmacy and PA majors, and remember all of the life-defining memories we have had while at Butler. We need to remember going through new student orientation, however many years ago that was. We need to remember when we first met those people who are sitting next to us today. We need to remember the countless nerve-wracking seconds in many of our men's basketball games that led us through to success. We need to remember the time and effort that our teachers invested in us over the years. We need to remember every smile and friendly comment from the workers at Atherton, C Club, and Resco. We need to remember those times when friends stayed up late to help us study. We need to remember failing assignments and tests, working harder, and improving. We need to remember every happy moment, every life lesson, and every opportunity that Butler has provided to us. We have all been given a rare and powerful gift. I would argue even more powerful than the amazing gift of a college education, we have all been given the gift of experiencing the Butler way. Though difficult to wholly explain to anyone who hasn't spent a couple years in the so-called Butler bubble, to all of us, the phrase makes perfect sense. It's that immeasurable aura that surrounds and inspires our campus community. It is that aura, the Butler way, that now charges us to go out into the world and to show it who we really are. We are the pharmacists, the marketers, the music teachers, the biological researchers, and the graduate students who are going to shape the world. We are the people who will discover the next penicillin, invent the next internet, compose the next Fifth Symphony, write the next Hamlet, and found the Fortune 500 companies of tomorrow. This wouldn't be a proper senior class president speech without a slightly corny, cliche quote, so far I've done well, but now is my chance. With the proliferation of this genre in recent years, I've chosen a quote from a superhero movie. You've all heard it before. With great power comes great responsibility. Every one of us has been given a great power, and every one of us has been given an even greater responsibility. Having been given the gift of an education and the inspiration of the Butler way, I charge all of you, myself included, to go out into the world and to wear the Butler way emblazoned upon your chests. Show the world what you are made of, and let them know what it means to be a bulldog.
Thank you, Michael. Once again, our talented Butler Chorale will perform Things That Never Die with music by Lee Dengler, text by Nixon Waterman, which has been drawn from the work of Charles Dickens. The words are on page 1 of your program. Please welcome Dr. Stark and the Butler University Chorale.
To
Thank you, Dr. Stark and the Butler Chorale. At this time, Mr. Coney Benefell, Treasurer of the Class of 2013, will present our faculty speaker.
Thank you, Mr. Fenneman. It is now my distinct honor to introduce the faculty speaker for the 2013 commencement. In the fall of 2009, the majority of the graduating class present today found itself moving onto the campus that would become home for the next 4 years. Whether it was Ross Hall, Schweitzer, or Resco, the next chapter of our lives had begun at Butler University. However, we were not the only ones who found ourselves settling into a new home here. That same year, Dr. Catherine Hagerman-Pagan and her family arrived at the university when she accepted a position as a faculty in residence at Schweitzer Hall, bringing with her a doctorate from Columbia University Teachers College, a master's from Butler University, a Bachelor of Science in Elementary Education from Indiana State University, and experience teaching 3rd and 4th grade in both St. Louis, Missouri and Westfield, Indiana. Dr. Pagan had already established a life dedicated not only teaching, but also instilling a passion for learning into others. During her tenure here, her students have enjoyed a commitment to further education with her constant effort to put her students above everything else and ability to introduce something new and innovative every day. While at Butler, Dr. Pagan has received the Richard Geyer Chair in Education in 2010, SGA Outstanding Professor of the Year in 2012, and Mortarboard Professor of the Year in 2009, 2011, and 2013. She is a columnist for the New Teacher Advocate and just recently finished a draft for a book that will be published later this year. Even with all these accolades and honors, she claims what truly made her a rock star for a day was crafting the Lego curriculum for the Children's Museum, which I believe our entire class can appreciate. The family that accompanied Dr. Pagan on her journey to Butler consists of her husband, Roland, and their two children, Hudson, who is 8, and Violet, who is almost 2. In a beautiful twist of fate, Dr. Pagan, having called this campus home for the last 4 years, has been invited by what Hudson, her son, calls his graduating class to share her words of wisdom today. Ladies and gentlemen, I would like to introduce to you Dr. Catherine Hagerman-Pagan. Please help me welcome her.
Thank you, Cody. Thank you, President Danko, the Board of Trustees, my faculty peers and honored guests, families, friends, and students. As Cody stated, I'm a former 4th grade teacher, current professor in the College of Education, and a faculty in residence. My #1 philosophy is keeping students at the center of the experience, and giving a commencement speech is no different. So I asked a lot of seniors, what would make this the best graduation speech you've ever heard? Make it personal, said Amy Kaufman. Include humor, laughed Amy Geiser. Make it meaningful to our class, Bridget McGrath thoughtfully stated. Make it inspiring, said Courtney Boyle. Make it heartfelt, said Taylor Staniszewski. Make it courageous, said Brian Ward. Make it short, said Meg Haggerty. Meg is the organizer of commencement. No pressure. So I decided to give you all a gift that includes these elements. I wrote you your own personal, humorous, short, adventuresome, inspiring, heartfelt graduation story. Now, this isn't your ordinary story, because as all of you know, to make something meaningful for people, most often you need to make it interactive. So, throughout the story, you will be participating in different ways. Cody and Abby have big cue cards that say, "On their way," on them. When I give the signal, they'll hold them up, and all you have to do is read them in your best enthusiastic voices, and that goes for parents, families, and friends, too. If you hear your name or your college, I want you to do this. And if you hear your neighbor's name, give them a little nudge. We are ready to go. The story is called The Adventures of Dogtown, 2013 edition. Once upon a time, in a village not too far away called Dogtown, there lived 814 happy, soon-to-be graduates. Dogtown was always an exciting, enjoyable place to be. On warm days, residents lounged on the mall, jumped in Star Fountain when the dog police weren't looking, Dr. Lecklider, and consumed countless amounts of caramel frappuccinos. On cold days, residents skipped along to Dominic the Donkey some years. On their way to class, well, just joking. While consuming countless amounts of Zebra hot chocolates. They cheered their beloved Dogtown Hoops team, always gave their town mascot a scratch behind the ears, and made sure to exercise every January in the Dogtown HRC. The residents were hard workers, too. They seemed to study nonstop in secret spots in the Dogtown Library. Beautiful music of all sorts streamed from the practice rooms of Dog Lily Hall. The Dogtown College of Arts was one of the best in the land, and it supported the town with phenomenal artistic performances that inspired awe and creativity. In Dogtown's College of Business, ventures and inventions were always being created to help make Dogtown an innovative, exciting place to be. Who wouldn't want to buy a bulldog pillow pet? Life in Dogtown was good until one ominous day. Everyone say, dun, 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 dun. When the soon-to-be graduates received a mysterious tweet from Danko the Great, the Dogtown president. Greetings, fellow Dogtonians. I applaud your years of hard work. I'll see you in the real world on May 11th, 2013. What? The Dogtown residents exclaimed. The real world? We have only heard of that place and seen our exhausted parents come home from that land. We are not ready, exclaimed the residents. I've heard the real world is tough, said Bridget Hannon. Melissa Rangel said, in the real world, I heard your first paycheck is really tiny. You have to cook your own food every day, said Chase DeGaulle. You have to pay for your own internet, shrieked Chris Henderson. Ack! The residents of Dogtown were in a frenzy, but it didn't last long because they were a solution-focused group. Hold on, said Anna Peters. Is the real world really that treacherous for us? Let us go talk with the Prez to see if we can figure this out. So the soon-to-be graduates set out on an adventure together to track down Danko the Great. But like all adventures, it wasn't as easy as it seemed. As they set out on their journey, the wind swept up. Everybody do your hands like this. Nice wind. The rain poured, and the thunder roared, pat your legs, across the sky. The residents were in danger of, stop, wait a minute, the College of Communication declared. No quest can be complete without thorough documentation and records of newsworthy events that includes multiple perspectives. No wonder the College of Communication was Dogtown's fastest growing college. They were a savvy group. You are right, the residents exclaimed. They got out their media production tools, and all the reporters, editors, and photographers for the Dogtown newspaper, both in print and online, documented their journey. And Cody and Abby, they were on their way. As they traveled through the native grasses by the Dogtown Canal and stopped to feed the Dogtown camel, several of the residents started itching and scratching. "Do I have something red on my neck?" scratched Caitlin Donahue. "I think an insect just bit me," Jasmine Rice yelled. "My whole leg is swollen up," said Bree Seaver. "Stop. Wait a minute, the College of Pharmacy and Health Sciences calmly stated. "It seems you all are having an allergic reaction to some of those indigenous plants," the physician assistants diagnosed. "Let us create a compound ointment to relieve the itchiness," the pharmacist said. After mixing the treatment and giving the correct prescription, everyone felt much better, and the itchiness was gone. "Thank you," yelled the Dogtown residents, and Cody and Abby, they were on their way. They traveled through Holcomb Gardens, checked behind the Persephone statue, but could not find the Prez. They did find LJ, the vice president of Dogtown Affairs, looking abnormally upset. "My phone!" cried LJ. "It isn't working. The settings are all jammed, and the screen keeps projecting everything in foreign languages. How can I let everyone know about my tweet treats if I can't send the message?" "Stop. Wait a minute, the College of Liberal Arts and Sciences calmly stated. "We have got this under control." The foreign language department collaborated with the computer science and software engineering residents and translated the messages and got LJ's phone working again. The psychology students were able to use their knowledge to calm LJ down and got him back to his perky self. And the scientists took an inventory of the chemical and biological makeup of some interesting footprints they found. LJ said, "I think I can help you out. The Prez has a really busy schedule today, but I think he had a meeting at the Butler Lab School. He might still be there." "Thanks," the resident said, and Cody and Abby, they were on their way. The group traveled down Meridian, took a left on 34th Street. They were about to enter the lab school when a few residents started looking worried. Is this the place where they teach in all sorts of different ways?" said Susie Cox. "I heard it's based on an Italian approach, and the children integrate the arts and the sciences," said Haley Dicer. "I heard they're studying vermiculture," said Kyle Stewart. "What's vermiculture?" shrieked Rodney Clark. Wait a minute, the College of Education calmly stated. "We've spent a lot of time in schools, and there's nothing to be afraid of. The children are welcoming and knowledgeable, and they will be our best resources." The residents of Dogtown quietly walked inside. "Have you seen the Prez?" asked birthday girl Lauren Reed. Happy birthday, Lauren. "Yes, he's doing yoga with the first and second graders," one of the children said. "Let me show you." As they went into the yoga room, they found Danko, the Dogtown Prez, in tree pose with his eyes closed. Everyone do seated tree pose, please. The residents of Dogtown breathed a sigh of relief. "Excuse me," whispered Tricia Frazier. "We received your tweet, and we're really concerned about making our way to the real world." The Prez's eyes opened slowly. He smiled and said, "Residents of Dogtown, since you've been here, you've collaborated, created, danced, designed, inspired, calculated, innovative, hypothesized, researched, written, invented, participated, questioned, diagnosed, taught, pushed, loved, and grown. You have been in the real world, and now it's time for you to thank your family and friends for supporting you in this journey. Pass through those doors of Hinkle and make your marks like you've been doing throughout all your experiences." The graduates smiled, for deep within themselves, they knew they were ready all along. And get ready for the big finish, everybody. Cody and Abby, they were on their way. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Dr. Pangan, for your thoughtful message. It's my pleasure to introduce the Dogtown Prez, the 21st president of Butler University, James Danko.
Well, that's a tough act to follow, but we'll do our best here. Thank you, Chairman Fenneman, and congratulations to our Butler graduates. Today, we celebrate a tremendous milestone in your lives. We are very proud of your academic and personal achievements, and we are grateful for the unique and positive impact that each of you has had on Butler University. We are also grateful, as I know you are, for your parents, family members, and friends. They have helped you to reach this milestone. Let's take a moment to stand up and give them a round of applause and thank them for their love, support, and encouragement. While today's ceremony is indeed a happy one, we here at Butler are sad to see you leave. And I know many of you, likewise, are sad to be leaving. We often refer to the Butler Way as the special manner in which we pursue excellence in our own areas of talent for the greater good of our communities and society at large. Throughout your academic journey, you have exemplified the Butler Way. It is my hope that as you embrace the next chapter of your lives, you will continue to let the Butler Way inspire you. I encourage you to remember those people who have given you a helping hand and pulled you forward. Don't forget to give those behind you the same helping hand. Continue to serve your families, your friends, and your communities as you have here at Butler. I wish you every success as you begin your new journey as alumni. We will miss you and the special contributions you've given to this campus, and we hope you will come back to visit us often. It's my pleasure at this time to welcome to the stage Dr. Arthur Hockman to introduce Dr. Martha Mitchell, one of our honorary degree recipients.
Thank you, President Danko. Dr. Martha Mitchell graduated from Butler at a time that was very challenging for an African-American woman. She received a degree in sociology in 1945, and 20 years later, a master's in education. When I came to know her 3 years ago, I quickly realized that she had a great deal to teach us and to teach me. I will never forget the day last year she spent with a group of students who are graduating today. We ate lunch together, and they listened as she told us about her experiences at Butler and beyond. She told us, for example, of having to eat lunch in the basement of Jordan Hall in a room designated for smoking just because she was African American. She suffered other indignities, but she also told us about moments of grace, such as when Hazel Hart, a professor in the College of Education, invited her to present her methods in a citywide teacher workshop. This was quite an honor and an unusual occurrence for an African-American woman at that time. She told us about our own legacy, about the truth of our own history. She told us about teaching for 20 years at School 87, where she was always proud to see the lights go on when students grasped what she was trying to teach them. She told us about her teaching efforts at Stanford, her educational efforts in Africa, helping to found the Center for Leadership Development, helping to create and nurture the Distinguished Black Alumni Association, as well as the successful creation of a school here in Indianapolis, the Building Blocks Academy, that still stands and is still going strong. Dr. Mitchell modeled and continues to model living life as a verb rather than just a noun, because she positively impacts the world and does not simply exist in it. I feel lucky to know Dr. Martha Mitchell, and I cannot wait to learn even more from her. Her Butler story is an inspiring one, full of self-determination. Butler University is proud to recognize our alumna, Dr. Martha Connor Mitchell, for her distinguished career in education and for her devotion to igniting the light of learning for so many students, including me. Dr. Mitchell, will you please come forward?
On the recommendation of the faculty, with the approval of the Butler University Board of Trustees, and by the authority vested in me, I confer upon you, Martha Connor Mitchell, the degree of Doctor of Education honoris causa, with all the rights, privileges, and responsibilities thereto. I invite the audience, we've done this, but let's do it again. I invite the audience to join me in expressing our congratulations and best wishes to our newest honorary degree recipient. We continue with the presentation of an honorary degree to John Green, our commencement speaker. New York Times best-selling author John Green is making a positive impact on a new generation through his books, educational videos, blogs, and social media. While John's books have been written primarily for a young adult audience, they have been appreciated by young and old alike and now been published in more than a dozen languages. His latest novel, The Fault in Our Stars, was Time Magazine's #1 fiction book of the year in 2012 and will soon be made into a film by 20th Century Fox. John's other best-selling books include Looking for Alaska, An Abundance of Catherines, and Paper Towns. He was the 2006 recipient of the Michael L. Prince Award, the 2009 Edgar Award, and has twice been a finalist for the Los Angeles Times Book Prize. In addition to his literary success, John and his brother Hank have become cultural icons through Vlogbrothers, an exchange of YouTube video blogs between the two of them since 2007. The Vlogbrothers channel has received over 300 million views and has created a worldwide community of people called nerd fighters. Any out there? Who celebrate intellectualism, empathy for others, and social justice. John and Hank have also recently started offering open online education through a YouTube channel called Crash Course. Hank teaches science, while John teaches literature, US history, and world history. John performed an evening of awesome to a sold-out crowd in Carnegie Hall in January 2013, and appeared on The Late Late Show with Craig Ferguson in March 2013. While John's professional success has been nothing short of astronomical, more importantly, he is committing to using his success to making the world a better place. He truly represents the ideals of Butler University. John is an alumnus of Kenyon College, where he earned his Bachelor of Arts degree with a double major in English and Religious Studies. John, will you please come forward? On the recommendation of the faculty, with the approval of the Butler University Board of Trustees, and by the authority vested in me, I confer upon you, John Green, the degree of Doctor of Letters, honoris causa, with all the rights, privileges, and responsibilities thereto.
Good morning. It's going to take me a minute to unfold this. Thank you, President Danko. Those are the first words of my speech. My own commencement speaker, who shall remain nameless, began his speech with a lame joke about how these gigs only come in two varieties, short and bad. And that raised my expectations tremendously, and then he went on to speak for 26 minutes. So I'm just going to tell you right now, 12 minutes flat, 11:45 if you don't laugh. I do want to congratulate everyone who's here today, and I do mean everyone. Parents, families, friends, professors, coaches, every single person in Hinkle today has given something to make this moment possible for the class of 2013, except for me. But everyone else has. But I want to wish special congratulations to you graduates today. Before we get to the life advice that you will soon forget portion of the program, I want to engage in a time-honored tradition of American commencement addresses, that of stealing from other commencement addresses. In this case, one by the children's television host, Mr. Fred Rogers. I want you to spend 1 minute, which I know is an eternity in the age of the internet, but I want you to spend 1 minute, if you will, thinking of some of the people who helped you to get to today, the people who loved you and without whose care and generosity you might not have found yourself here graduating from Butler, or watching someone you love graduate, or seeing your students graduate. Think for just 1 minute of those who have loved us up into this day. I'll keep the time. Those people are so proud of you today. I want to return to them soon, but first I have to deliver terrible news, which is that you are all going to die. This is another time-honored tradition of American celebration, the raining on the parade. I remember when I got married, the priest devoted the majority of his homily to telling me how challenging and laborious and often miserable marriage would be. And I kept thinking, that seems like something that could wait for tomorrow. But no, it can't. You're going to die. Not only that, it gets worse. Everything you ever make or think or experience will be washed away by the sands of time. The sun will blow up. No one will remember Cleopatra ruling Egypt, or Crick and Watson untangling the structure of DNA, or Ptolemy fathoming the stars, or even that improbably wonderful game against Gonzaga. So that's unfortunate. But I would argue that it's good to be aware of temporariness on a day like today, when you're thinking about what you want to do with your life. The whole idea of this commencement speech is that I'm supposed to offer you some thoughts on how you might live a good life out there in the so-called real world, which, by the way, I assure you is no more or less real than the ones in which you have so far found yourselves. But I can't give any advice about how to live a good life unless and until we establish what constitutes a good life. Now, of course, that's much of what you've been up to for the last 4 or 5 years, or 6. Whether you've been studying dance or literature, and I'm not going to swoop in here at the end with any interesting revelations. I just want to note that the default assumption is that the point of human life is to be as successful as possible, to acquire lots of fame or glory or money as defined by quantifiable metrics like number of Twitter followers or Facebook friends or dollars in one's 401k, which is a thing that you guys don't know about yet, but it's coming. That's the hero's journey, right? The hero starts out with no money and ends up with a lot of it. The hero starts out an ugly duckling and becomes a beautiful swan, or starts out an awkward girl and becomes a vampire mother, or grows up an orphan living under the staircase and then becomes the wizard who saves the world. We are taught that the hero's journey is the journey from weakness to strength. But I'm here today to tell you that those stories are wrong. The real hero's journey is the journey from strength to weakness. And here is the good news that is nested inside of the bad news. Many of you, most of you, are about to make that journey. You will go from being the best informed, most engaged students at one of the finest universities around to being, if you are lucky, the person who brings coffee to people. Or you might be a Steak and Shake waiter, as I once was. Whether you're a basketball player or a pharmacist or a software designer, you are about to be a rookie. Your parents' long-asked questions, what exactly does one do with a degree in anthropology, will become a matter of sudden and profound relevance in your life. Your student loans will come due, and you will have a hard time. Your student loans will come due, and you will need a very good answer for why exactly you went to college in the first place, which answer you will have a hard time coming by as you sit at your job, provided you are lucky enough to find a job, and suffer the indignity of people calling you by the wrong name. Or if you are forced to wear a name tag, the indignity of people calling you by the right name too often. And that is the true hero's errand, the journey from strength to weakness. And because you went to Butler, you will be more alive to that experience. You will be better able to contextualize it and maybe even find the joy and wonder hidden amid the dehumanizing drudgery. For example, when I graduated from college, I worked for a while as a data entry professional. And I would often call to mind William Faulkner's brilliant letter of resignation from the United States Postal Service, which went like this. As long as I live under the capitalistic system, I expect to have my life influenced by the demands of moneyed people. But I will be damned if I propose to be at the beck and call of every itinerant scoundrel who has 2 cents to invest in a postage stamp. This, sir, is my resignation. William Faulkner. Now, having read that letter in a Faulkner biography in college had nothing to do with my job typing numbers into a database, but it was still profoundly useful to me. Education provides context, and it provides comfort, and it provides access, no matter the relationship between your field of study and the trajectory of your post-collegiate life. But still, you are probably going to be a nobody for a while. You are going to make that journey from strength to weakness. And while it probably won't be an easy trip, it is a heroic one. For in learning how to be a nobody, you will learn how not to be a jerk. And for the rest of your life, if you are able to remember your hero's journey from college grad to underling, you will be less of a jerk. You will tip well. You will empathize. You will be a mentor and a generous one. In short, You will become like the people you imagined in silence a few minutes ago. And let me submit to you that this is the actual definition of a good life. You want to be the kind of person who other people who may not even be born yet, will think about in their own silences, years from now at their own commencements. I'm going to hazard a guess that relatively few of us closed our eyes and thought of all the work and love that Selena Gomez or Justin Bieber put into making this moment possible for us. We may be taught that the people to admire and emulate are actors and musicians and sports heroes and professionally famous people. But when we look at the people who have helped us, the people who actually change actual lives, relatively few of them are publicly celebrated. We don't think of the money they had, but of their generosity. We don't think of how beautiful or powerful they were, but how willing they were to sacrifice for us. So willing at times that we might not even have noticed they were making sacrifices. So with all that in mind, I'd like to share with you a few pieces of what I believe to be rock-solid advice about, like, proper adulthood. First, and perhaps most importantly, don't worry too much about your lawn. You will soon find that almost every adult American devotes tremendous time and energy to the maintenance of an invasive plant species called turf grass that we cannot eat. I think you should choose a better obsession. Also, you may have heard that it is better to burn out than it is to fade away. That is ridiculous. It is much better to fade away. Always fade away. And keep reading. Specifically, read my books, ideally in hardcover, but also keep reading other books. You've probably figured out by now that education isn't really about grades or getting a job. It's primarily about becoming a more aware and engaged observer of the universe. And if that ends with college, you're rather wasting your one and only known chance at consciousness. Also, a word about the internet. Old people like myself are terrified by their ignorance of the internet, and you should use that to your advantage. You should say things at your job like, you don't have a Tumblr? You should really have a Tumblr. I can set you up with that. Try not to worry too much about what you're going to do with your life. You are already doing what you are going to do with your life, and judging by the fact that you are wearing a gown, you're doing pretty well. That's not a sentence you hear much in life. On that topic, there are many more jobs out there than you have ever heard of. And in fact, your dream job might not even exist yet. Like, if you had told college graduate me that I would become a professional YouTuber, I would have been like, that doesn't seem like a word. And lastly, I want to encourage you to be vigilant in the struggle toward empathy. A couple years after I graduated from college, I was living in an apartment in Chicago with 4 friends, one of whom was this Kuwaiti guy, Hassan. And when the US invaded Iraq, Hassan lost touch with his family, who lived on the border for like 6 weeks. By the way, some of you have heard me tell this story before, but I have a microphone, you're seated, so you're going to listen to the rest of it. So my friend Hassan responded to this stress by watching cable news coverage of the war 24 hours a day, and the only way to hang out with Hassan was to sit on the couch and watch the news with him. So one day, we were watching the news, and the CNN anchor was like, "We're getting new footage from the city of Baghdad." And a camera panned across a house that had a huge hole in one wall covered by a piece of plywood. And on that plywood was Arabic graffiti scrawled in black spray paint. And the news anchor started to talk about the anger on the Arab street. And Hassan started laughing for the first time in weeks. I said, "What's so funny?" He said, "The graffiti." I said, "What's funny about it?" And he looked at me and he smiled and he said, "It says, 'Happy birthday, sir, despite the circumstances.'" For the rest of your life, you are going to have a choice about how to read graffiti in a language you do not know. And you will have a choice about how to read the actions and intonations of the people you meet. And I would encourage you as often as possible to consider the happy birthday, sir, despite the circumstances possibility. The possibility that the lives and experiences of others are as complex and as unpredictable as your own. That other people, be they family or strangers, near or far, are not simply one thing or the other, not simply good or evil or wise or ignorant, but that they, like you, contain multitudes, to borrow a phrase from the great Walt Whitman. That's difficult to do. It is difficult to remember that people with lives different and distant from your own even celebrate birthdays, let alone with gifts of graffitied plywood. You will always be stuck inside of your body, with your consciousness, seeing the world through your own eyes. But the gift and challenge of your Butler education is to see others as they see themselves, to grapple meaningfully with this cruel and crazy and beautiful world in all its baffling complexity. I know that we have not left you the easiest path, and I am sorry, but I have every confidence in you, and I wish you a very happy graduation, despite the circumstances. Thank you.
Thank you, John. That was truly terrific. At this time, I recognize Dr. Catherine Morris, Provost and Vice President for Academic Affairs.
Thank you, President Danko. Graduates, it is my pleasure to recognize the faculty of Butler University and to honor their role in your educational success here. And I'm going to go off script for a second here. John, I'd like to thank you for asking us to have that minute of intentional thought about people who helped us to get here. I did that as well, and I did think about faculty members who worked with me when I was an undergraduate, and so this is really my pleasure to be able to recognize people that I hope you were thinking about a few minutes ago. So faculty, I'd like to ask you to rise, please. Graduates, during your time at Butler, you have grown and developed intellectual and practical skills that will serve you well in your future. Your development as students is a direct consequence of the meaningful interactions you've had with these faculty members, both inside and outside of the classroom. Simply put, you would not be here today were it not for the dedicated faculty members on our campus. Graduates, I ask that you take a moment, another moment, to think about the transformative influence that they've had on your lives. Not only have they affected your daily interactions and your educational progress over the time that you've been at Butler, but their influence will continue as you travel down your life paths. These people have put their hearts and souls into your education, and I ask that you honor them now with a round of applause. Thank you. Next, it is my distinct pleasure to recognize three particular faculty members. This year, we implemented the Distinguished Faculty Awards, which honor professional accomplishments throughout one's career at Butler. I'd like to invite our three 2013 Distinguished Faculty Award winners to stand as I call your name, and I'd ask everyone that we hold applause until we have recognized all three award winners. Dr. Lisa Brooks, Professor of Music, winner of the 2013 Distinguished Faculty Award for Service and Leadership. Dr. Brian Murphy, Professor of Physics and Astronomy, winner of the 2013 Distinguished Faculty Award for Scholarship, Research, and Creative Activity. And Dr. Kent Van Tile, Professor of Pharmacology, winner of the 2013 Distinguished Faculty Award for Teaching. Congratulations on being nominated and selected by your faculty peers for this wonderful honor. Thank you again to each and every faculty member at Butler whose efforts have made this commencement ceremony possible for our students. Graduates, the diplomas you're about to receive signify your academic accomplishments under the tutelage of this outstanding faculty, grounded in the liberal arts and complemented with training in your discipline or profession of choice. Congratulations on your academic work. Being a graduate of Butler is more than just your academic success. During your time at Butler, you have not only developed as students, but also as people who contribute to the world around you. We have calculated that members of your graduating class have collectively performed some 70,000 hours of community service during your time at Butler. It's a pretty amazing accomplishment. In the years that you've been here, you've made a positive impact on the communities in which you have served. We know you will continue to make the world a better place. Graduates, the faculty, staff, and administration are proud of you. Indeed, commencement is one of our proudest days on campus. As you begin a new phase in your life, please know that we trust you will be excellent ambassadors for your alma mater, whether you find yourself in Indianapolis, anywhere else in the country, or somewhere around the world. And we look forward to hearing from you about the ways in which you have used your Butler education in your professional, personal, and service-oriented lives. We will now present the graduate and undergraduate degrees. All members of the graduating class, please stand. Mr. President, the candidates standing before you have completed all the requirements for their respective degrees. They have been recommended by the faculty and approved by the Board of Trustees, and I now present them for the conferral of their degrees.
On the recommendation of the faculty, the provost, with the approval of the Board of Trustees, and by the authority vested in me, I confer upon you the degrees recommended with all the rights, privileges, and responsibilities pertaining thereto.
In keeping with academic tradition, those of you who are receiving bachelor degrees may now move your tassels symbolizing your degrees from the right side to the left side of your cap. Please be seated. Dr. Jay Howard, Dean of the College of Liberal Arts and Sciences, will now present the candidates for the Master of Fine Arts, Master of Arts, Bachelor of Arts, and Bachelor of Science.
Thank you, Dr. Morse. Candidates receiving the Master of Fine Arts degree. Maria Cook. Douglas Manuel II. Craig Parker. Michael Powers. Christopher Speckman. Carol Taylor. Margie Watson. Earning the degree Master of Arts. Emily Luke. Matthew Proctor. Earning the degree Bachelor of Arts, Emilia Abbey, magna cum laude. Catherine Adams, summa cum laude. Jeremy Algate. Ariel Arzu. Ryan Babel. Roberto Baptista Vasquez. Tony Bergamini, magna cum laude. Caitlin Bierman, summa cum laude. Elise Bomer. Kirsten Bowles, summa cum laude. Ann Bowersox. Michael Calloway, cum laude. Rachel Carnegie. Chase Carter. Mallory Cottle. Haley Cole, cum laude. Uno Blessed Coons. Chloe Cooper, cum laude. Michael Couch. Jason Crivolio. Megan Cullen. Nicole Cunningham. Justin Dice. Kirsty Dobbs. Jordan Dolson. Brittany Elkins. Mary Elo. Andrew Erlinson, magna cum laude. Laura Fennelly. Catherine Filchek, cum laude. Christine Fisher, cum laude. Benjamin Fox. Haley Freeman. Megan Fry, cum laude. Samantha Fulton. James Gillen. Sabrina Gregory. Hannah Groh. Jordan Hall, cum laude. Kelly Hammond. Bridget Hannon. Craig Harding. Taylor Hira. Nicholas Hochstedler, cum laude. Aaron Holm, cum laude. Courtney Hooker. Zachary Holish. Nicole Hummel. Nicole Humphrey, magna cum laude. Shelby Hunter. Jordan Jemison. Stephen Johnson, cum laude. Janelle Jordan, cum laude. Robert Kimes. Kimberly Kohler. Molly Cordis, Jennifer Kugler, Paul Lacey, William Lamar, Jasmine Lancaster, Katie Langdon, Joshua Lemke, Molly Lorette, Stefan Ludlow, Jacqueline Marsh, Sarah Martin, cum laude, Scott McLucky, cum laude, Craig Middleton, Megan Minzer, Elise Morgan, cum laude, Jack Morlock, Shelby Murdoch, Scott Nemeth, Paige Newman, Laura Olinger, Tia Osborne, magna cum laude, Ravi Patel, Joseph Paul, cum laude, Joseph Perry, Carrie Porita, Monica Porter, cum laude, Adam Posorski, Julie Query, Jeremy Reagan, cum laude, Colin Reenan, cum laude, Jasmine Rice, Amber Sapp, magna cum laude, Kristen Swartz, Nicholas Seefeld, Erica Scroy, Lindsay Sharp, summa cum laude, Grace Shelton, cum laude, Hillary Shepard, cum laude, Thomas Seidlecki, Madeline Silverstein, Jason Simpson, Jillian Sitar, Alexa Smith, Samantha Smith, cum laude, Alan Snyder, Wyatt Steckbeck, Hannah Stiller, Jessica Strong, Brittany Sullivan, Megan Sullivan, cum laude, Hannah Sutton, cum laude, Virginia Swale, Alex Talentire, Brett Thomaston, Eileen Toomey, summa cum laude, Angela Toth, Danielle Vaklovic, magna cum laude, Emily Van Tile, Randy Vega, Bradley Vogelsmeyer, cum laude, Samantha Wickert, cum laude, Lindsay Weiss, Jenna Wheaton, Amy Wilkinson, Courtney Williams, Madeline Worthwine, Jessica Woldarski. Kevin Wolf, cum laude. Candidates receiving the Bachelor of Science degree: Mark Abarca, Jessica Abinett, Justin Abbott, cum laude. Lena Annabelle, Ellen Baker, Brooke Becker, Christian Brown, Shannon Burke, magna cum laude. Elizabeth Closerto, Kelsey Coy, Kelly Kreider, cum laude. Alexander Davis, Daniel DeWar, Zachary Didier, Lauren Jevietsky, Hitesh Dubé, cum laude. Kirsten Ennis, Rachel Essig, cum laude. Brittany Ferd, cum laude. Grace Frank, Danielle Friend, Kayla Gouray, summa cum laude. Erica Gilliland, magna cum laude. Logan Grady, Whitney Green, Kelly Grott, cum laude. Catherine Hagan, Emily Hambell, Dylan Harmison, Claire Hubbard, Cody Jackson, Christopher Johnson, David Johnson, Elliot Johnson, Zachary Jones, Zachary Cartgee, Sarah Kay, Alyssa Kent, Matthew Kiskowski, Julie Clench, cum laude. Joe Sulom Kugbe, Lily Kierchiska, Sophia Lee, magna cum laude. Daniel Leedy, Andrew Lincoln, cum laude. Paige Love, cum laude. Sergio Madera, Bryn Masson, Micah Matheson, cum laude. Brian McClure, Mira McCary, magna cum laude. Logan Metzger, Alan Myers, cum laude. Claire Millam, magna cum laude. Carissa Miller, cum laude. Nicholas Olinger, cum laude. Sierra Oshodi, Andrew Rabig, Tabitha Ramsey, Kristen Rush, magna cum laude. Matthew Salaski, Christopher Savas, cum laude. Kristen Senatar. Michelle Simpson. Shelby Stavridis. Mackenzie Tarbell. Christina Tatera, summa cum laude. Aaron Todd. Matthew Vogt, cum laude. Catherine Shear. Sir. Catherine Shear. David Wacker. Amy Wasilk. Jonathan Webster II, cum laude. Those are the candidates from the College of Liberal Arts and Sciences. Thank you, Dr. Morris.
Thank you, Dr. Howard. Presenting the candidates for Master of Science and Bachelor of Science in the College of Education will be Dr. Ina Shelley, Dean of the College.
Thank you, Dr. Morris. It is my privilege on behalf of the College of Education to introduce the candidates for Masters of Science in Education. Kristen Anderson. Rebecca Bechtel. Aaron Brown. Kara Bungard. Karen Bushhouse. Courtney Coppinger. Cheryl Dallas. Courtney Daymeyer. Dina Fogel. Nicholas Friedman. Alana Gardner. Jennifer George. Kristen Gibson. Kristen Hendrick. Kimberly Johnson. Andrew Knopp. Amy Lentz. Nelda Love. Nicholas McNeely. Cassandra Mitchum. John Moorhead, Jr. Pamela Nixon. Laura Rashi. Candace Robinson. Dawn Terrell. And now the candidates for the Bachelor of Science degree in Education. John Aikenhead. Hillary Adams. Isaac Adams. Jessica Biggs. Jessica Blackport. Lane Blackwell. Courtney Boyle, summa cum laude. Chelsea Bajarski, cum laude. Julia Castle, cum laude. Taylor Clarkson. Amy Kaufman, cum laude. Brittany Connett, cum laude. Claire Cornelius, cum laude. Joey Crum. Danielle Edgeworth. Elise Estridge, cum laude. Brittany Farmer. Amy Geiser, summa cum laude. April Gautier. Jennifer Goschert, cum laude. Bridget Goss. Sean Grady. Derek Groves. Christopher Henderson, cum laude. Jasmine Humphrey, cum laude. Sierra Jeffrey. Catherine Jones. Craig Jordan II. Jackson Comrath. Carly Kuiper, cum laude. Claire Kelly. Elise Kirby. Maria Corey. Catherine Lamberton. Natalie Lay. Kyle Lease. Grant Lewis. Caitlin Love, cum laude. Caitlin Mannion. Lauren McCullough. Jordan Miller. Kylie Minning. Rachel Mobin. Alexandra Moore. Ashlyn Morrill, cum laude. Matthew Nicholson, cum laude. Kimberly Northrup. Margaret Ulrich. Rachel Polkow, cum laude. Samantha Pratcher. Lauren Propp, cum laude. Melissa Rango. Kelsey Roberts, cum laude. Megan Rogg, cum laude. Ariel Rudd. Ann Sanders. Emily Schrock. Paige Schertzma, cum laude expected. Chase Stegall. Megan Stroka. Lauren Succi. Olivia Thomas. Ryan Ward. Sarah Waters. Kristen Watts. Drew Welch. Nicole Weston, cum laude. Jill Wheelock, cum laude. Brittany Wycliffe. Trent Wilburn. Whitney Wiley. Hannah Yaki, cum laude. And Shara Zaya. That completes the degrees for the College of Education. Thank you, Dr. Morris.
Thank you, Dr. Shelley. Dr. Ronald Caltabiano, Dean of the Jordan College of the Arts, will present the candidates for Master of Music, Bachelor of Arts, Bachelor of Fine Arts, Bachelor of Music, and Bachelor of Science in that college.
Thank you, Dr. Morris. with a Master of Music degree, Kurt Carlson. Jared Henson. Elsie Johnson. Timothy Kiefer. Miles Nardinger. Aaron Nichols. Kelly Swenson. Kyle Wernke. Laurelyn Whitney. Candidates for the Bachelor of Arts degree, Lauren Albert. Lauren Batson. Thomas Benoit. Haley Bickford, cum laude. Marcella Columbus, magna cum laude. Lisa Del Medico, cum laude. Matthew Dickey. Matthew Doolin. Melissa Downs. Rachel Gehrig, cum laude. Alexa Glazer. Haley Goletta, cum laude. Chelsea Huey. Paul Hunt. Douglas Johnson. Lacey Kristen. Quinn Leary. Timothy Mastick, cum laude. Danielle Morano, magna cum laude. Monica Munoz Caso, cum laude. Tyler Ostrander. Edward Pinder. Catherine Powell. Colleen Rea, cum laude. Bridget Richards. Christopher Robinson. Andrew Ramiro. Hannah Sawicki, cum laude. Natasha Sharma. Ana Maria Sarugo, cum laude. Sarah Smith, cum laude. Abigail Springer. Brittany Staten. Carrie Stauffer. Shane Tarpley, cum laude. Marcy Thornsberry, cum laude. McKenna Tolman. Eli Utah Veroff, cum laude. Annalie Wallace. Welsie Wynn. Candidates for the Bachelor of Fine Arts degree, Christina Brown, cum laude. Patrick Green. Jean Zhang. Christina Liu. Danielle Martin. Justin Metcalf Burton. Chloe Obert. Lauren Reed, cum laude. Morgan Sicklick, summa cum laude. Katrina Vorsa. Lauren Williams. Candidates for the Bachelor of Music degree. Brittany Archer, cum laude. Catherine Bollinger, cum laude. Alexander Buff. Kelly Cassidy, summa cum laude. Megan Fletcher. Anthony Franklin, cum laude. Catherine Fraser. Caitlin McDermott. Brendan McMahon. Brianna Nielsen, cum laude. Grant Pfeiffer, cum laude. David Platt, cum laude. Rafael Porto. Michelle Robinson. Lucas Schaefer. Carl Wearsome, cum laude. Candidates for the Bachelor of Science degree. Cheyenne Burgess. Nora Burke. Susan Bratton. Shelby Canella. Allison Fosnot. Sarah Henry. Eric Chelming, cum laude. Christina Kunda, cum laude. Alice Labor. Danielle McCormick. Courtney Reynolds, cum laude. Bradley Rippiger, cum laude. Reed Swenson. Rachel Wente, cum laude. Thank you, Dr. Morris.
Thank you, Dr. Caltabiano. Presenting the candidates for Master of Business Administration, Master of Professional Accounting, Bachelor of Science, and Bachelor of Science in Economics will be Dr. Chuck Williams, Dean of the College of Business.
Thank you, Dr. Morris. For the Master of Business Administration, Sarah Anderson. Robert Baldwin. James Earlywine. Luke Fletcher. Daniel Gable. Nicholas Gahn. Emma Happersberger. David Hughes. James Hyatt. Virginia Lippard. Tracy Lloyd. Matthew Powers. Jacqueline Prophet. Gregory Quick. Hussein Sadri. Kara Scholler. Kyle Scholler. Kirk Smith. Joshua Watson. Now for the Master of Professional Accounting, Leslie Bradley. Matthew Cassola. Robert Kotef. Kevin Leisure. Amberly Marshall. Lauren Marshall. Matthew Reyes. Andrew Rutherford. Andrew Schooler. Kayla St. Clair. And now for the Bachelor of Science in Business Administration. Robert Aiken. Dan Aldia. Jacob Allen. Taylor Iman. Margaret Anderson. Charles Balmus Jr. Lauren Bayless. Heidi Barker. Farrah Baston, cum laude expected. Lauren Bauer. Metawi Borabun. Jacqueline Bossard. Benjamin Bati. Margaret Brown. Jay Brummel. Emily Burgoyne. Cody Benefiel. Chase Byerly. Napoleon Carroll III. Jackson Clifton. Jackson Clifton. Napoleon Carroll III, Jackson Clifton. Let's hear it for Napoleon Carroll III. All right, Napoleon Carroll III. Hannah Cole. Colin Corvino. Timothy Courtney II. Austin Cox. Luke Crymans. Jordan Crow. Joseph Cruz. Catherine Cunningham. Keaton Daly. Robert Davis. Travis Davis. Todd Deloney, Jr. John Dillon IV. Caitlin Donahue. Adam Durham. Jessica Edwards. Evan Eichhorn. Richard Foster. Hillary Fox. Derek Friedrich. Evelyn Gill. Okay. Carolina Glenn. Daniel Gable. Don't have a card. LJ, no card. No card. Okay, Carolina Glenn. Radley Haddad. Something messed up. Daniel Hampel. I can't hear. Brian Hannon. Romeo Harper. Alex Daines. Alex Daines. All right. Gelwicks? Pat Gelwicks. Jennifer Herron. There we go. Jennifer Herron. Scott Harvey. Bridget Hayes. Colin Holmes. Paige Hunt. Jared Eisenthal. Andrew Kazmierzak. Michael Kedzie, cum laude. Kristen Kinsey. William Kirtley. Gus Klofta. Kristen Kraus. David Langen. Kurt Leaney. Joel Lechte. Ashley Leroy. Blake Layden. Kyle Lopatin. Kelsey Lyons, cum laude expected. John Macon. Tracy Mannion. Nicole Mark. Dylan Mashmeyer. Whitney May. Shane McCluskey. Alexander Mears. Rachel Melendez. Brianne Mershman. Kelsey Miller. Paige Mummert. Kirk Niebuhr. Sarah Nussbaum. Peter O'Malley, Christopher O'Neill, Jessica Onstwetter, James Pascasio, Joshua Phelps, Matthew Presley, Joost Rietdijk, Scott Ruffle, Paige Souter, Alexis Schmidt, Brooke Schmucker, Paul Shortino, Adam Searles, Amura Selimovic, Caitlin Severson, Sajad Shaw, Matthew Seiler, Andrew Smith, Stephanie Smith, Blake Stevenson, Kyle Stewart, Jessica Tandy, Elizabeth Tatt, cum laude, Eric Taylor, Jace Tennant, David Thomas, Grace Tucker, Regina Vera, Kevin Weingartner, Joshua Worthington, Kyle Zima. Now for the Bachelor of Science in Economics, Carl Miller, Victoria Tobin. Thank you, Dr. Morris.
Thank you, Dr. Williams. Dr. Mary Andritz, Dean of the College of Pharmacy and Health Sciences, will now present those who have completed requirements for the Master of Science in Pharmaceutical Sciences, Master of Physician Assistant Studies, Doctor of Pharmacy, and Bachelor of Science in Health Sciences degrees.
Thank you, Dr. Morris. On behalf of the College of Pharmacy and Health Sciences, it's my pleasure to introduce the candidates. The candidates for master's and doctoral degrees received their respective hoods on a special ceremony on Friday. For the degree, Master of Science in Pharmaceutical Sciences, Sunika Reggie. Levi Smith. For the degree Master of Physician Assistant Studies, Emily Blanche. Jacqueline Brown. Bethany Burrell. Mark Campos. Kyler Clark. Sarah Critchlow. Lindsay Doby. Krupa DeVay. Cameron Davis. Julianne Fry. Abigail Given. Michelle Jenkins. Sarah Lennon. Kristen Malone. Rebecca Matthews. Christina McCain. Sheena Mohan. Andrew Morris. Olympia Morris. Morgan Mounsey. Natasha Nelson. Caitlin Parks. Madison Pascal. Garrett Penton. Ariana Reynolds. Christopher Roundtree. Alan Schmetzel. Kirsten Schwab. Neethi Shaw. Ricky Shaw. Michael Skonetska. Brett Schramstead. Megan Smith. Samantha Straight. Tara Thornburg. Sarah Ten. Alyssa Valhalla. Kelsey Vonderheide. Andrew Walker. Eric Wessel. Lauren Wiedow. John Wildman. Nathan Wokenberg. Zena Yaldo. Sarah Zernheld. For the degree Doctor of Pharmacy, Indrajit Ajimal. Courtney Albers. Lindsay Andrus. Eric Angelotti. Adam Arnold. Kristen Bakke. Devin Bascom. Kelsey Bowman. Sterling Bigler. David Blunk. Joshua Brown. William Burke. Dana Carter. Michael Carter. Ryan Cash. Kristen Cheek. Albert Chen. Brittany Clemens. Annie Collins. Lisa Deegan. Heather DeYoung, cum laude. Jay Dorsch. Emily Dubord. Dana Durso. Sarah Flaherty. Kirsten Furlong. Pamela Gazelshin. Jamie Getty. Sarah Gott. Megan Granger. Jarrett Grubbs. Samantha Harpenow. Farhun Hassoun. Tyler Hensley. Destiny Hughes. Veronica Wowie. James Hyatt, magna cum laude. Sarah Jones. Louis Camo. Kirsten Keck. Scott Kaylor. Kyle Keith. Katie Kramer. Janelle Kumik. Aaron Lotta. John LaHue. Allison Like. Jacob Lemon. Claire Lesko. Lauren Levine, cum laude. Kristen Liberatore. Colleen Linsemeyer. Katie Lira, cum laude. Anthony Lazuski, cum laude. Melissa Locke. Kelly Luchin. Kelsey Lyon. David Martin, magna cum laude. Craig Matthews, cum laude. Sarah McCullough, cum laude. Jessica McKee. Alyssa Meyer. Ryan Mitchell. Alap Modi. Hannah Morgan. Miranda Moriarty. Jessica Morris. Brittany Mosier. Laura Montel. Eric Myers, cum laude. Rachel Nealis. Shelby Neff. Ann Nelson. Vishal Oka. Nicole Palmy. Shifali Patel. Morgan Pepmeyer, cum laude. Lauren Perry. Nicholas Peters. Emily Flom. Nicholas Powell. Jacqueline Prophet. Jennifer Reed. Brandon Rensing. Andrew Ruska. Kelsey Schultz. Janae Schum. Kathleen Shannon. Catherine Sheets. Levi Smith. Stephanie Smith. Stacy Schmoller. Bethany Stuckemeyer. Stephen Schwank. Lisa Toms. John Venable. Megan Baverka, Victoria Ware, Michael Weirs, Amanda Williams, Catherine Wilson, Kelsey Young. And for the degree Bachelor of Science in Health Sciences, Marissa Beatty, Devin Deering, Jane Dixon, Nicole Grenizen, Samantha Lamenthia, Bridget McGrath, Lauren Myers, Catherine Niehaus, Allison Painter, Hillary Reardon, Sally Rader, Erica Tandy. Thank you, Dr. Morris.
Thank you, Dr. Andritz. Dr. Gary Edgerton, Dean of the College of Communication, will now present those who have completed the requirements for the Bachelor of Arts in Communication.
Thank you, Dr. Morris. On behalf of the College of Communication, it is my pleasure to introduce the candidates. Ryan Anderson, cum laude. Kevin Babb. Jacob Barton. Stephen Andrew Bindrum. Becca Bornhorst, cum laude. Darshi Bosamia. Sarah Bradley, cum laude. Katie Briggs. Lucas Calderon. Catherine Carlson. Alexia Chap. Jacqueline Cromley, cum laude. Haley Dicer. Emily Delaney. Olivia DePaulis. Christina DeChocho. Allison DeBartine, cum laude. Samuel Dorrance. Daniel Drew. Jennifer Esperanza. Kyle Faulkner, summa cum laude. Robert Fenton. Trey Fenton. Sarah Ferry, cum laude. Michael Fiedler. David Flynn. Claire Frisella. Jordan Gill, cum laude. Corrine Gone. Jennifer Green. Rachel Gurley. Molly Harbour. Margaret Head. Taylor Henry. Stephanie Hodgen. Sarah Holcomb, Heather Owinski, Kyle Johansson, Marissa Johnson, cum laude, Aaron Kelly, Michael Kenna, Lauren King, Jordan Kreibel, Anthony Wiley, Amanda Lewis, Brooke Lewis, Alyssa Lees, Shelby Long, Caitlin Mara, Elizabeth Matthias, Jacob Matthews, Jillian McCarter, Tara McElmurray, Robert McEarl, Shannon Miles, Kylie Miller, cum laude, Krista Miller, cum laude, Caitlin Monahan, Katie Myers, Michelle Nash, Tommy Nichols III, Emily O'Neill, Michael O'Neill, Amy Pazik, Haley Pearson, Catherine Peterson, Ann Pennell, cum laude, Lance Rinker, Mary Rogers, cum laude, Jennifer Schaefer, Scott Smeltzer, Caitlin Stredge, Brianna Seaver, cum laude, Jessica Schaefer, cum laude, Kate Shambrook, Corey Shover, Hannah Simmons, Ryan Simpson, Casey Sines, cum laude expected, Adam Small, Rebecca Smith, Douglas Smidle, cum laude, Laura Spieth, Taylor Staniszewski, Jessica Switek, Sarah Tarantino, Ashley Taylor, Katie Taylor, Talene Tokat, Alicia Towson, Michael Vandervoort, Kyle Weir, Nicole Wheeler, cum laude, Luke Wilkening, Andrew Ray, Catherine Ring, cum laude, and Catherine Youngin. That completes the degrees from the College of Communication. Thank you, Dr. Morris.
Thank you, Dr. Edgerton.
And our final candidate to walk across the stage is Butler Blue 2. Please join Butler University in congratulating Blue 2 on his retirement as mascot. Thank you, Blue, for 9 great years.
All right. I invite the graduating class, the class of 2013, to stand as I announce each college to receive your congratulations. The College of Liberal Arts and Sciences. The College of Education. Jordan College of the Arts. College of Business. College of Pharmacy and Health Sciences. And finally, College of Communication. It's also an appropriate time to recognize those who have made this day possible. So I'm going to ask the families of the graduating class to please stand to receive our congratulations and gratitude. And at this time, I welcome back to the podium Mr. Fenneman, our Chairman Fenneman, to introduce our final musical performance and speaker.
During the opening convocation of Welcome Week, we ask our faculty, staff, students, and parents to join in singing the alma mater as a symbol of their welcome to the university. As you are now leaving our hallowed halls, I call on you to sing the alma mater once more. Please join the Butler Chorale graduates under the direction of Dr. Stark as we sing your alma mater together. You will find the words on page 3 in your program. Would you please stand for the singing of the alma mater? Please be seated. Our thanks to the talented Butler University Chorale and their director, Dr. Eric Stark, as well as the Butler University Symphony Orchestra, under the direction of Professor Richard Alden Clark, for their beautiful musical performances today. It's now my pleasure to present Miss Abby Springer, Secretary of the Senior Class, to offer her thoughts as we prepare to close the ceremony.
Each beginning demands an ending. Every ending promises a beginning. Now is that time. May we remember this day, this year, our friends, our families, our teachers, and all of our accomplishments. And may these memories allow us to realize that there's even more for us to achieve, that our work in this world is hardly done. May this day be an invitation to move forward, to live lives that are meaningful for ourselves and of contribution to others, so that what we believe may be what we do. We are equipped with an education that gives us tools to create a better, more loving, more just world. May we give thanks for this work that we are called to do. As we prepare to travel different roads away from Butler, may we keep our eyes, our hearts, and our minds open. This moment is remarkable, but there will be many more. Give thanks for life that is just beginning. I leave you with this quote by Rabbi Abraham Heschel. And I, with stubborn boldness, have promised that I will increase the tenderness in this world, and it seems to me that I will, in time, live on through this earth with all the brightness of all the stars in my eyes. May we go forward with joy, peace, happiness, hope, and love. Thank you.
All right. With sincere congratulations and best wishes to the graduating class, I declare the 2013 Butler University Commencement completed. Please remain seated until the faculty and last graduate have recessed.